In the realm of Hinduism, very few tales captivate the imagination quite like the enchanting love story of Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati. The celestial union between the two deities is not only a tale of romance but also a representation of the cosmic balance and the significance of love and devotion. The story of Shiva and Parvati's divine union unfolds in a fascinating manner, filled with twists and turns that shape their destiny. Lord Shiva, the embodiment of cosmic power and the destroyer of evil, resided atop Mountain Kailash in deep meditation. This deep meditation of Shiva was a result of the grief of losing his first wife Sati. His solitude and detachment from worldly affairs were such that he seemed resistant to the charm and allure of love. Shiva sat in meditation for thousands of years, neglecting his duties of dissolution and destruction. One day, Brahma, the god of creation, looked around and saw that nature had lost its luster. The world was stagnant. Without Shiva bringing everything to a state of dissolution, Brahma could not create. Ideas could not be born. Creativity and imagination were blocked. Brahma went to the great feminine force Shakti for help. Shakti told Brahma that she would be born in a human female form to bring Shiva back into the world. Parvati was born in a noble and virtuous family, adding to the significance of her role in shaping the cosmic balance. Parvati's father was Himavat, the personification of the Himalayan mountains, known for their majestic beauty and spiritual aura. Her mother was Mainavati, who symbolized the divine qualities of patience, strength, and grace. From her very birth, Parvati was destined for greatness. Her name Parvati means of the mountains, signifying her strong connection to the Himalayas and the natural world. She inherited the innate qualities of her parents, embodying both the serene tranquility of the mountains and the fierce determination to achieve her goals. As Parvati grew, her beauty and radiance began to shine, captivating all who encountered her. Her elegance and charm were enhanced by her virtues of compassion, devotion, and intelligence. Parvati possessed a rare blend of inner strength and gentleness that made her a beloved figure amongst gods and mortals alike. In her childhood, Parvati exhibited a deep fascination and love for Lord Shiva. She was drawn to his enigmatic presence, his meditative state atop Mountain Kailash, and his role as the cosmic transformer. Parvati recognized the divine essence within Shiva and knew that he was her destined consort. Parvati's parents, aware of their daughter's unwavering devotion and recognizing the significance of her union with Lord Shiva, encouraged her pursuit. They knew that her love and devotion had the power to transform the universe and restore its balance. Thus, Parvati's journey to win the heart of Lord Shiva began. She embarked on a path of intense penance and self-discipline, seeking to awaken Shiva from his deep meditation and draw him into a divine union. Parvati retreated to secluded forests, leaving behind her privileged life and embracing a simple existence. She lived amidst nature, performed arduous rituals, and engaged in intense meditation. Her determination and dedication were unwavering as she continued her quest to win Shiva's affection. Many years passed, and Parvati's penance intensified. She endured physical hardships, extreme weather conditions, and relentless trials in her pursuit of Shiva. Her unwavering faith and devotion became a beacon of inspiration for gods and mortals alike. The demons, threatened by Parvati's growing spiritual strength, also attempted to disrupt her penance. They unleashed their dark forces upon her, conjuring up terrifying creatures and obstacles. Yet, Parvati remained undeterred, summoning her inner strength to overcome each challenge with grace and perseverance. Her penance did not go unnoticed by the divine beings as well. Parvati's austerities and her genuine love for Shiva resonated throughout the cosmos. The Devas recognized her extraordinary efforts and believed that she was destined to be the divine consort of Lord Shiva, playing a pivotal role in restoring harmony and defeating the forces of evil. However, Shiva's mind never wavered from his deep meditation. In the meantime, in the heavens, the Devas grew concerned about the rising threat of the demon Tadakasur, who had acquired immense power and was wreaking havoc upon the universe. They realized that due to the boon given by Brahma to the Asura, only a son born to Shiva and Parvati could vanquish the existence of this threatening demon. Taking this into consideration, the gods devised a plan to bring Shiva and Parvati together. They approached Parvati's father Himavat, the king of the mountains, and revealed their intentions. Himavat, aware of Parvati's deep devotion to Shiva, readily agreed and blessed their union. So all the Devas came together to break Shiva's meditation and get him a suitable mate, Parvati. The king of the Devas, Indra, summons Kamadev and assigns him this dangerous mission that invites Shiva's wrath. He instructs Lord Kamadev to fill Shiva's heart with desire to marry Parvati so they could produce a child who in turn would kill the demon Tadakasur. Armed with all his necessary love weapons and his wife Rati, Kamadev sets on the journey to Shiva's abode to fulfill this divine task. He evades Shiva's guard, Nandi, by taking the form of a fragrant southern breeze and enters Shiva's abode. On entering Shiva's meditation place, he creates an untimely spring with the chirping of birds and the blossoming of flowers. Finding the right moment, Kamadev shoots his love arrow at Shiva and thus breaks his meditation. Shiva soon becomes distracted by Parvati, but is also surprised at the sudden change of his behavior. He realizes who is the culprit behind the entire episode. Furious, he confronts Kamadev and immediately reduces him to ashes with his third eye. Seeing her husband incinerated, Rati becomes inconsolable as the man behind all pleasures and happiness, not just in her life but all over the world, is no more. Seeing her plight, Shiva resurrects Kamadev. Parvati witnessed this event and remained undeterred by the loss of Kamadev, for her love and devotion to Shiva remained steadfast. Post this, Shiva shut all three of his eyes and went back into a meditative state. This made Parvati more concerned about the situation, as all her efforts turned out to be futile. Nonetheless, she didn't step back, but rather contemplated what to do next. After a moment of reflection, she decided to win over the meditating Shiva through strong penance. Parvati, for 1,000 years, stood on one leg over the hot coals and on the cold snow for the next millennium. It was during these years of self-reflection that she developed tapas, internal heat, which further turned into her own power and energy. Her energy was so powerful and widespread that it even stirred Shiva, which ultimately resulted in his awakening. After this incident, Shiva accepted Parvati. Recognizing her deep love and sincerity, Shiva granted her wish, and they together manifested as Ardhanarishwar, a unique embodiment of both masculine and feminine energies. In this divine form, the right half of Ardhanarishwar's body represents Lord Shiva, characterized by his matted hair, the crescent moon adorning his head, the sacred river Ganga flowing from his locks, and his powerful third eye. He embodies qualities such as transcendence, meditation, and detachment. On the left half of Ardhanarishwar's body resides goddess Parvati, symbolizing grace, beauty, fertility, and nurturing qualities. She is adorned with ornaments, wears exquisite clothing, and carries feminine attributes such as a lotus flower and a mirror. The union of Shiva and Parvati in the form of Ardhanarishwar signifies the inseparable nature of masculine and feminine energies. It represents the harmony and balance between opposing forces, emphasizing that both aspects are essential for the functioning and sustenance of the universe. Ardhanarishwar symbolizes the idea that masculine and feminine principles are not separate entities but are intricately connected and interdependent. After Parvati's penance and the emergence of Ardhanarishwar, the time had come for the divine couple to be united in holy matrimony. The gods, demigods, celestial beings, and sages were thrilled by the prospect of witnessing this celestial union, and they eagerly gathered to participate in the grand celebration. Near Triyugi Narayan village, Shiva and Parvati agreed to marry each other while they were on their way back to meet Parvati's parents. Their marriage was solemnized in the month of Falgun, a day before Amavasya. This day is celebrated as Mahashivratri every year. Lord Brahma discharged the duties of the divine priest, while Lord Vishnu was responsible for the wedding preparations. Lord Shiva is worshipped by both Devas and Danavas and treats both of them fairly and equally. He invited and allowed both the clans in his marriage ceremony, showing his impartial behavior. Everyone from the demons, reptiles, scavengers, insects to deities were wholeheartedly and happily welcomed in the ceremony. After receiving the invitation for Shiva's marriage, the seven mothers Brahmi, Maheshwari, Kaumari, Vaishnavi, Varahi, Endri, and Chamunda dressed him up. Finally, his beautiful marriage procession proceeded towards his in-laws' house. Shiva proceeded with his marriage procession, which consisted of crores of his ganas and deities. Many deities like Vishnu were boarded on their vehicles. When the marriage procession was coming, Parvati's mother Mainavati curiously told Narad about her desire to see her son-in-law. Shiva understood the conceit which her desire contained and hence wanted to teach her a lesson. He sent all the other deities before him, one by one. As planned, Mainavati mistook each one of them to be Shiva, but Narad later informed her that they were not her son-in-law. Mainavati wondered how handsome her son-in-law must be if the attendants of the groom's side were so handsome. With this, Shiva arrived with his ganas. His attire for his wedding was a tiger's skin for the dress and a snake for a necklace. He had ashes smeared over him and his unkempt hair in matted locks. He sat atop the Nandi bull, his Vahana. Maina fell unconscious as she looked at the terrible sight of Shiva. She was helped to regain her consciousness by the maid servants. As soon as she regained her consciousness, she started crying and cursing everybody responsible for her daughter's marriage with Shiva, including Narada, the Saptarishis, and even her own husband. She even admonished Parvati by saying, "Did you do severe penance to get such a horrible husband like this?" Mainavati threatened everybody that if this marriage takes place, then it would be the last day of her life. Many people tried to convince her and console her, including Lord Brahma and Narada. Lord Vishnu arrived and tried to pacify her anger by saying that her anger was baseless as she had not seen the real appearance of Shiva, which bestows benediction. Lord Vishnu and Narada then requested Shiva, who, on being pleased, showed his most enchanting beauty. Maina was now convinced, and at last Shiva entered the mandap where the marriage ceremony was going to take place. He and Parvati were highly delighted to see each other. After the marriage ceremony was over, Sage Garg helped Himalayas in performing the rite of Kanyadan amidst the Vedic chantings. The celestial wedding of Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati is a timeless tale of love, devotion, and cosmic union. It inspires devotees to seek the divine union within themselves and to recognize the sacredness of love and commitment. Their union is a source of inspiration, guiding seekers on the path of divine love, devotion, and spiritual transformation.